Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video, and today's video is going to be talking about the new patch update which was just released into Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which was the 1.11 update, and is quite a significant update in terms of size that you have to download onto your console, and there's a bunch of different events and things happening with this game with the communities of multiplayer, zombies, and Blackout. And while this update was lacking a few things and there wasn't, there wasn't really many weapon changes. There was some changes to perks, to score streaks, some huge stuff for the zombies community, as well as Blackout looting changes, and just a bunch more stuff. Also, just, a little balancing things to do with perks and other things in the in-depth stuff in multiplayer. So we're going to talk about all that in today's video. If you guys could smack a like on this thing, like I said, 1,500 likes would be absolutely amazing. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed, and let's get right into it. So basically with this update, this is the 1.11 update, and it's rolling out to consoles at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time earlier this morning, and then to PC later this week. So basically, what they're saying is that all three modes got even bigger with this update, with the debut of gauntlets and new elixirs in zombies on PS4, a new week of featured playlists, like they usually do, and the addition of elevation and Madagascar to map rotation for Black Ops Pass owners in multiplayer, our new and improved console looting interface in Blackout, and much more. So we're going to talk about all that sort of stuff in this video. First of all, I'm going to go straight to the multiplayer stuff and cover that off the start, because I'm mainly a multiplayer channel and that's probably what people are most interested in. So with multiplayer, like I said, elevation and Madagascar, which are the DLC maps, they were previously in that DLC map playlist only, right? You had to play that. Now they've been added into normal map rotation, which means that people are going to be separated whether you have the pass or not, or those maps or not. And basically core and hardcore for all the Black Ops Pass owners, those maps are of course going to be now a regular rotation. So if you like those maps, that could be a good thing. If you don't like those maps, that could be a bad thing. It could also, have some matchmaking errors, but that's basically what was added. Game modes, heist. With heist, they added the SWAT RFT assault rifle, the Demon 3XB SMG, the combat axe, and the EMP disruptor to heist. So adding some of those DLC weapons that are now, as they're getting kind of older, you can now purchase them in heist, use them in there, and sort of test them out and see if they're worth grinding for, I guess, if you wanted to do that, or something like that. Basically also fixed a few bug issues with heist. Next is they added an overtime win condition for Hardpoint. In the event of a tie at the end of the time limit, the team to score the next point will win the match, and this setting has been enabled for CWL Hardpoint in custom games. For Search and Destroy, they fixed some issues with that. Free-for-all, the assault pack can now be interacted with after it was hacked in free-for-all, so fixing a little issues with just how the TAC 5 interacted with the specialist. And there are some specialist changes we'll get to right here. Specialist, Zero. So Zero is one that's been pretty controversial, I would say, since it was released. It's a specialist that personally, I don't really like stuff where they can steal your kill streaks, because people would always hold on to that when they're getting smacked, and then whenever I would call in my helicopter, they would just take it from me, and that seemed like sort of a BS specialist, because, a lot of the specialists are BS because it's pretty free stuff or easy stuff to get. You guys know what I mean with that. So with the Zero, the changes they made to that specialist are hacking an enemy no longer prevents specialist weapon or equipment usage. So that is a decent, basically, if you have your specialist weapon or your equipment ready to go, you're going to be able to use that even if you are being hit by, the hack. A hacked assault pack will now no longer be destroyed if the original owner leaves the match, and then a hacked barricade will now no longer be destroyed if the original owner leaves the match. So some fine tuning to that. I wouldn't say necessarily some hard-on balance changes, but that's what we have with that. And then also with Ruin, Firebreak, and Crash, it's pretty much just bug fixes and issues with how those specialists were interacting with each other. So nothing much that we will notice in terms of gameplay. Perks, this is where some stuff was actually changed and balanced. Cold-blooded. I've been saying that they need to balance the perks out a little bit for a while, and they did a little bit here. We'll talk about it. So they improved Cold-blooded's enemy score streak targeting delay from 5 seconds to 7 seconds. That is a pretty significant buff to Cold-blooded. Do I think it's good enough to compete with Gung Ho? No, because Gung Ho is just such a ridiculously good perk compared to the rest of the game. They improved the Team Link's circular vision radius by 9%, which is going to be a significant buff there. Team Link is something that I think is really great to use in like hardcore, where you don't have that mini map, you don't have that stuff to attach onto, or if you're playing with your buddies, or maybe it's something that you're just used to. Personally, I usually look at the mini map and judge stuff off of the mini map, and then play off my screen to play in like my immediate surroundings. So it's not that big of a deal for me, but that's a little buff to that. They updated Tactical Mask's description to include increased resistance against EMP disruptors. So it had that available to it before, to my understanding, but they basically added that to the description to complete that. And Tracker's detection icon will now clear correctly if the player switches to a class without the Tracker perk. So just some issues going along with that. So like I said, this update is, at least on the multiplayer section, a little bit underwhelming, because there's a tiny bit of balancing changes to like the Zero Specialist and a couple perks, but it's nothing game changing, and I don't think this update in terms of multiplayer will really change too much to do with the meta as far as that stuff really goes. Score streak changes, what we have with those are basically just a bunch of bug fixes around the care package and different stuff like that. The Killathon reactive camo, I know people have been having trouble with that. That now properly should be working for different players in the game who are having trouble with that. And yeah, that's the majority of stuff that happened with this multiplayer update. But there are some big stuff that there's also some featured playlists, which are Chaos Control has been added as a featured playlist right now onto multiplayer. Teams have unlimited lives. Capture time increases to 2 minutes per zone. The round time limit increases to 3.5 minutes. And then TDM 100, Team Tactical Mosh Pit, Mercenary Hardcore Mosh Pit, and Mercenary Deathmatch Mosh Pit added to the featured category for this week's featured game modes. Now, out of those, I really do like TDM 100, so I think that's pretty good. Team Tactical Mosh Pit, Mercenary, I'm not the biggest fan of those things, but I really do think that TDM 100 is the way to go, and I've always just been a fan of, TDM traditionally, when I was coming up in, the early years of Call of Duty, was always 75, but 100 has been the wave. Zombies. The biggest thing with zombies is the 115-day celebration event, the 115-day celebration event with zombies double XP, zombies double weapon XP, and double plasma, live from 10 a.m. Pacific January 15th, right now when you're seeing this video, until 10 a.m. Pacific January 18th. So for you zombies people that want to grind, this update is probably most significant for you guys, because it's going to be a great week for zombies. As far as some actual new stuff that went live first on PS4 to do with zombies, I will show screenshots up on the screen. I am not the biggest expert when it comes to the zombie stuff, so I'll leave it to you experts to analyze this info, but I'll show you guys some screenshots to do with zombies up on the screen right now, because I want to keep everyone updated on that. We talked about the PS4 and Xbox One changes and everything to the multiplayer. The zombies, a lot of the stuff I'll be showing up on the screen right now. And then the last thing we need to talk about is Blackout, and the changes to Blackout include the looting. The big change is to the looting interface, which I think it's going to be something that needs to be tested out, and everyone needs to see how good this works in comparison. But for the looting interface on consoles, it's now a grid layout with multiple pages for all stash types. The identical items will now stack inside a stash instead of being displayed individually, and remaining armor is now displayed on armor items in a stash. So huge updates. And one thing that's always been frustrating as a player, certain games that are console and PC, like Blackout, really did have the advantage in the looting system and on the PC, just because of how easy it was. And on console, that was one of the biggest L's or downsides I would say to Blackout, was the looting system just wasn't too clean. And I like how they upgraded the armor system. I think these changes will only make looting faster, and it shouldn't be as scary where you're just risking complete death by going for loot in Blackout, because if you're getting a lot of kills, you should be able to loot a decent amount, and you deserve that loot, of course, if you are getting those kills. Next, there's also one gameplay change to Blackout. So like I said, there are some gameplay changes across the modes, but it's not the most significant stuff. I think these Blackout changes are pretty big, though. For gameplay in Blackout, they reduced the concussion grenade stat count to 1, so basically you can just hold 1 in each slot with those as of right now. That's what I'm understanding from it. But yeah, this definitely looks like a good updates to Blackout. And speaking of Blackout, something very exciting is coming to Blackout. If I can get the tweet up here from Call of Duty, where basically It's looking really good in terms of Blackout fans. I'd say multiplayer probably got the short end of the stick on this update. And basically what it was is Call of Duty tweeted this out, and I'll show you guys up on the screen right now, where bring your friends, the Blackout free trial is coming. Play Black Ops 4 Blackout Battle Royale for free from January 17th to the 24th on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. So super duper crazy stuff here, where basically the rumors around Blackout potentially becoming free as well as Overwatch, and I made a video on that like a week ago. It looks like they're already testing out a free Blackout period for a week, and hopefully this goes well. So recommend your friends to play. If you have buddies that, you know, always wanted to try out Blackout but didn't want to purchase the full game or anything, this is a great time to test it out, and hopefully this will bring some hype and attention to the game, because I know that, you know, free-to-play battle royales tend to do pretty good, especially if you guys know of one called Fortnite, you know. So of course it's just a test for a week, but I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and this is mostly everything you guys need to know about this update. Full link to the full patch notes will be down in the description if you guys want to check them out. Subscribe if you guys are new, drop a like, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.